Hello, Ashley here with HeartHookHome.com, and today we are learning a much thicker version of the Marguerite Stitch, which is also known as the Star Stitch. This stitch that we are learning today is thicker than the traditional Marguerite Stitch because I want to use it in the kitchen and it needs to withstand a lot of heat. So I'm using cotton and a thicker version of the Marguerite Stitch. So we are going to work this up together. All right, so I'm starting here with a even numbered chain. This is 20 chains. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a single crochet all the way back through. So I'm going to set it up with a row of single crochet. I'm going to go into the second chain from the hook into the back bar, and I'm just going to single crochet all the way down. All right, at the end of my single crochet row, I want to make sure that I end with an odd number of stitches. So here we have 19 single crochets, and we are ready to start with the Thick Marguerite. We're going to do a chain 3 to start this new row. 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to turn our work so that we're looking at the correct side. Because we're making a thick Marguerite, we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into the second chain from the hook. So right here, and pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over again, pull up a loop in the third chain right here. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop in the first stitch of the row. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop in the next stitch. And then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop in the next stitch. So we've got lots and lots of loops, right? We should have 11 loops on our hook. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through all 11 loops. Now we're going to chain 1. And we have a completed Thick Marguerite. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull up a loop in the eye of this stitch here. So insert your hook right into that hole. Pull up a loop. Yarn over. Pull up a loop in the far left here on the side of that half double crochet. Pull up a loop just right there. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to go into this stitch that we just went into already with the last stitch. Pull that up. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop in the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop in the next stitch. This means that we should have 11 loops on our hook once again. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 11. Now make a chain 1, and now we're going to do this over and over and over again until we get to the end of the row. So yarn over, pull up a loop in the eye of the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop on the side of this star here, so in this right here, pull up a loop there. Now yarn over and pull up a loop in the same stitch that we finished the last Marguerite stitch, right here. Now we're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up a loop in the next one. Yarn over and pull up a loop in the next one. We should again have 11 loops. Yarn over, pull through all of them. Carefully. Chain 1. And now we're ready to yarn over, pull up our loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through all of them, and chain 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 11 loops again, pull through all of them, and chain 1. I'm going to complete this all the way to the end of the row. When I get to the end of the row, I should only have 2 open stitches left, and I do, which is good. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to finish my last Marguerite stitch, my last thick Marguerite in the last 2 stitches there. Pull through everything. Looks good. And now we're going to chain 1. So this is the end of the first row, or second row technically, of the thick Marguerite. Now we're going to turn and work our way back through, and here I'm going to just turn it. I am not going to chain an additional chain because I found when I do that it creates a big bump here and I don't like the way that it looks. So I am just going to go straight in. After we do this chain here to close this stitch, I'm just going to turn it and I'm going to place my first stitch right here in this eye. And it's going to be a single crochet, and I'm going to do it a little bit on the loose side so that I can get back into it easily when I come back through with my next round of star stitches or Marguerite stitches. So I'm going to insert my hook here, and I'm going to pretty loosely make a single crochet. Don't want it to be too tight. And now I'm just going to single crochet in each stitch here, and I, stitch, I, stitch, I, all the way to the end of the row. I'm going to place another stitch in the top of this first Marguerite here. And then my last single crochet of the row is going to go into this chain 2 right here. That is in the middle of the chain 2 that we did the last row. So I'm just going to place a single crochet right there as the last stitch of the row. So now I have 19 single crochets going across the top of my thick Marguerite. So now I'm ready to do another row of the Marguerite stitch. So I'm going to chain 3, turn, and remember we're doing thick Marguerite, so we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop in the second chain from the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop in the third chain from the hook, yarn over in the first, pull up a loop in the first stitch of the row, and then the second, and then the third. And I should now have 11 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all of them and chain 1. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did in this row down here, just all the way across these stitches here. And really, this is all there is to the thick Marguerite. Now again, when I get to the end of this row, I want to make sure that I only have these 2 stitches left, and I'm going to place my last thick Marguerite there in those 2 stitches. And this is why we don't want to make that first single crochet of the row too tight, because this is it right here, and I have to go through both sides of this V here, and if you make it too tight, like I even tried to be loose, there we are, go under both sides of that V for the single crochet and grab it. And now yarn over, pull through all of them, chain 1, and turn. And now we're going to place our single crochets. First one goes in loose, and then single crochet in each chain, okay, in the top of each star, I, all the way to the end. And then all you have to do is alternate these 2 rows, and you've got that beautiful stitch. I love it because this thick Marguerite really is super thick compared to the regular Marguerite stitches that do not have that yarn over before you pick up each loop. So the regular Marguerite stitches only have 6 loops when you go to pull through, and this one has 11, so it does make it a lot thicker. It's great for hot pads to put on the table, or trivets, or even if you're using it for like oven mitts or design something like that. So very nice, very thick, very fun and plush stitch, and I hope you love it. I look forward to creating with you soon, and thank you for watching.